Senator?
Well, thank you, Congresswoman, and to all of our colleagues in the House. I appreciate your courtesy to be able to go, because unfortunately I had to catch a train back to Washington. But as Congressman Wasserman Schultz said, the Biden administration decision to designate Venezuela for temporary protected status makes it clear the United States is once again fully on the side of people fleeing dictatorships and humanitarian disaster. You know, for years, the world watched in horror as Maduro and his regime destroyed Venezuela, leaving citizens without access to food, water, electricity, a functioning hospital system. More than 5 million Venezuelans had fled their country. And despite this man-made catastrophe, the Trump administration continued deporting people back to Venezuela. Even when the FAA blocked direct flights from the US to Venezuela, my office uncovered that President Trump's deportation squads deported Venezuelans through Trinidad and Tobago. Because of the Trump administration's inaction, Democrats have led efforts to approve TPS in Congress, and all of my colleagues here and several others deserve an enormous amount of credit in the House for making it happen. Because of their leadership, the House passed TPS for Venezuela in 2019. However, in the Senate, Republicans repeatedly blocked our efforts. I and other Democratic colleagues with Senator Durbin went to the floor numerous times to ask for unanimous consent to pass TPS for Venezuelans, as the House overwhelmingly passed. But several of my Republican colleagues, like Senator Rick Scott and Senator Mike Lee, repeatedly blocked our efforts. So as a result of the Biden administration's actions yesterday, over 320,000 Venezuelans will be eligible to apply for temporary legal status in the United States, and they have an opportunity to also obtain a work permit. TPS is a far more significant granting of a privilege than what the Trump administration did on the last day of their administration. That was only about not necessarily deporting Venezuelans, but it didn't have the full guarantee that TPS has. It didn't have the length of time that TPS has. It didn't make it as easy to be able to get a work permit as TPS does. And it didn't give the peace of mind to all of those Venezuelans who have already gone through so much anguish because they've had to leave their homes and their families behind, to think about what their status was in the United States. That's why I applaud President Biden for doing what he said he would do, and not waiting till the last day of an administration, but doing it in the first 100 days of his administration to give Venezuelans the peace of mind and the status that they need at this time. Having led the fight for TPS for Venezuelans in the US Senate has been a privilege. I'm proud that the administration kept their commitment to the Venezuelan people. And very briefly in Spanish, if I may, Congresswoman, quiero felicitar a mis colegas que están conmigo en esta reunión virtual. Es un día de regocijo para poder reconocer que el presidente Biden y su administración cumplieron en los primeros 100 días de su administración con lo que nosotros hemos urgido por mucho tiempo de darle TPS a los venezolanos. Mis colegas que están en esta reunión virtual actualmente lograron el pasar el TPS en el 2019, pero cada vez que yo, como el patrocinador más fuerte en el Senado para darle TPS a los venezolanos, iba al pleno del Senado para conseguir el consentimiento del Senado para acordar con lo que hizo la Cámara de Representantes, cada vez mis colegas republicanos como el senador Scott de la Florida y el senador Lee de Utah constantemente se opusieron a la oportunidad de aprobar el TPS para venezolanos. Así que nunca había falta la necesidad de una ley, porque lo que el presidente Biden hizo ahora se hubiera podido hacer en cualquier momento. Pero estamos muy alegres para todos esos venezolanos que han tenido que huir, que han vivido por la angustia de tener que dejar su patria, de que actualmente tienen familias todavía que se encuentran en tantas dificultades en Venezuela. El TPS le da alguna oportunidad de saber de que tienen un estatus en este país, que no tienen que preocuparse de la deportación, que pueden conseguir un permiso de trabajo y que tienen en la ley un compromiso que es muy diferente de lo que se le había ofrecido en el último día de la última administración. Estoy contentísimo de ser parte de este esfuerzo y seguiremos luchando para que el pueblo de Venezuela sea libre una vez más. Thank you, Congresswoman, and to all of my colleagues. Appreciate it.